I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start recording a video. I apologize. Greetings, everyone. I'm interrupting my CZ's Horror History Marathon and my 78th listen of the new Even in Arcadia album by Sleep Token to bitch about 2v8. Every time 2v8 comes around, I have this more gigantic sinking feeling that nothing's going to actually improve, and it's all just going to be more bitching and moaning and complaining, and unfortunately today, I'm going to have to be a part of that bitching, moaning, and complaining because this 2v8 was so half-assed that I can't even begin to understand why they even bothered with it in the first place. So for the new 2v8, Ghostface and Oni were both released into the fray, and for the most part, it doesn't seem that bad when those two killers are concerned. I have a slight, confusion as to why they put Ghostface into this mode without increasing the amount of time it takes to reveal him, because now you can be revealed from literally 8 different angles. I played Ghostface and I maybe got to pop my power, I think maybe 3 times and actually expose somebody before I was just revealed by a rando working on a gen 7 miles away, because there's no possible way for you to avoid being seen by most of the survivors inside of the match. Oni seems to be a little bit better, however, because of the absurd amount of pallets that exist in this mode, you can actually pretty easily counter the Oni, and yet I still see people bitching on Reddit, but when are people never not bitching on Reddit? But outside of that, the entirety of 2v8 just feels absolutely ridiculously half-assed. First off, I want to make it clear, just like in the past, I do love the mode for what it is. Once you're actually in a game and playing the game, it feels really, really fun, especially from the killer's perspective. Not only do you have a buddy with you participating in the genocide, but you also have a kind of spectacle fighter feel, where you get to just absolutely slaughter hordes of survivors. I personally would have loved a mode that's like 1 versus 16, where it's me versus 16 survivors and I'm just a giga-powered killer. I think it'd be kind of cool, because I just love that spectacle of being able to walk through and hit a bunch of survivors, and it just triggers a weird dopamine receptor. But outside of that, everything just feels so bad. The queue times being absolutely atrocious are back, and they are worse than ever before. I'm not sure why Behavior decided to nix the bots, because they didn't help a lot, but they did help a little bit. The queue times weren't as bad, but now they're back. I spent 22 minutes waiting for a match on stream. I just did a 2-hour stream and only got to play 5 matches. That is absolutely fucking pathetic. That is one of the worst queue times to gaming ratios that I've seen in a long time, and this happens with every single 2v8. But that's not all. As it turns out, the Wesker bug is still in 2v8. You remember the bug that not only holds survivors hostage, but also the Wesker player himself, where if Wesker grabs a survivor, there's a chance that he permanently carries the survivor around on his shoulders, and there's absolutely nothing he can fucking do about it. He can only M1, and even once the in-game timer finishes, like it's done, not starts, it's finished, they're still trapped in the match until the Wesker himself DCs, forcing him to incur a penalty. Yeah, that bug, it's still in the fucking game! Behavior, I try to give you guys the benefit of a doubt. I try to put forward, hey, maybe maybe you weren't thinking about this, or maybe this was an oversight or something, but there is no fucking shot that this bug that everybody was posting about is still in the game. There's no way it's still here. This is the next iteration. You've had months to fix this, and it's still there. That is ridiculous. There is no reason for this. Look, I didn't make a video on the PAX announcement because at the end of the day, it was pretty much a big nothing burger. It announced a bunch of cosmetics, confirmed Springtrap, And that was pretty much it. And I'm not mad at behavior for that, right? Unlike a lot of people on the internet, I understand that the PAX is just a little bit of a stage. They don't have a lot of time, so they have to do what they have to do, and they have to do it quickly. However, there was one announcement that got me kind of excited, where they said that they were going to be introducing a feature to 2v8 called Wait While You Play. Dr. Seuss be damned, it was one of the best ideas I've heard in a long time, and it's actually something that a lot of other games started doing that I've been wishing that behavior would do, where it allows you to play a game while you're waiting in the queue. So if you queue up for killer in 2v8, you're then able to go and play a survivor match, which will pop like that. And then when you get out of that survivor match, you still have your time, your spot in the queue line. This is excellent because not only does it give you something to do while waiting in these half-hour queues, it will actually reduce the half-hour queues because everybody in the killer queue, or most people, are going to be playing a game of Survivor while they wait for killer to pop, meaning that there's going to be more survivors playing, meaning that the queue times are going to inherently be less, right? So it just fixes a bunch of problems at the same time. And I personally have been wanting them to add like the ability to go into custom matches and stuff like that while you're waiting in normal queues, so maybe this is like a step before that. But they said at PAX that they weren't going to be implementing it into the next 2v8, which is this one, the one that we're playing, and I'm trying to figure out why the fuck not? Why? And it all came basically crashing down on me. The PAX stream was underwhelming for a lot of people. A lot of people expected that we were going to find out what Springtrap's power was, how the gameplay was going to look, and we were going to get a lot more stuff around it. But because we didn't get that, and now we're having to wait until the PTB in order to see what that's going to look like, behavior now has to give something to the community in order to distract them from the fact that we basically learned nothing about Springtrap. Now, I don't give a shit about Springtrap, right? I'm only excited to have new content to talk about because I like discussing perks and their what's the fucking word? I'm drawing a blank here. I like discussing perks and their implications on the rest of the game. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's the closest thing I can come up with, right? So I like discussing new perks. I like discussing a killer's power. I like talking about like the strategies and the chain reaction that certain things will have. So I'm excited for that. But outside of that, I've never played a Five Nights at Freddy game. I don't have any deep emotional connection to Five Nights at Freddy's, but a lot of people do. And so a lot of people were disappointed with the PAX announcement because they feel like we just basically got nothing except here new map, here Springtrap, bye everybody, look at our cosmetics, and that felt really bad for a lot of people. So behavior was like, fuck, let's give them 2v8, something that the community historically loves, in order to distract. And normally I'm not this like negative or pessimistic about the game, at least not nowadays. I've tried to give behavior the benefit of a doubt, but that's really what this whole thing feels like. The fact that Ghostface did not get the proper buffs that he should have, the fact that the queue times are still absolutely fucking atrocious, the fact that the Wesker bug is still in 2v8, all points to this 2v8 kind of being haphazardly slapped together and then thrown out the door to distract the community until we get the PTB for Springtrap in 2 weeks. It all feels like shit. And it kind of makes me feel bad because I know that the community loves this mode. I know that this is a good thing for Dead by Daylight because it is a new way to play the game. It is a healthy way to play the game. It is a fun way to play the game. But if you're not going to put effort into it, then why should any of us give a shit? Or as to quote my old favorite video game critic, Zero Punctuation, Ben Yahtzee Croshaw, if you don't give a fuck, then why should I? Why should I care about 2v8 if it's obvious that you don't care about 2v8? Look, all this yelling and this screaming is just me trying to put forth the concept that I feel like behavior needs to really think about the updates that they're doing. Some of these updates have been absolutely amazing ideas with terrible execution, and this is unfortunately becoming a track record where you guys will come up with this wonderful, cool, grand idea in order to improve the health of the game, but then you'll release it in the worst way possible. A great example of this is the quest system, which I have not made a video on because I've been waiting for you to fix it because I know you've seen the complaints. The quest system is great. No longer having people throw their games to do these hyper-specific, do 14 backflips before fondling the killer's balls and completing 12 generators in the same match while escaping it's not there anymore. And so we're gonna have less and less people throwing our games in order to try desperately to complete quests. It's gonna be doing quests that are completed while you're playing the game, which is the best way to do it, right? One of the best way to do these kinds of quest systems is to have quests that are completed while you're playing the game. And I'll release a more nuanced thing down the road. But the point is that some of the rewards are underwhelming. Like, for example, daily quests are now giving 7,500 if you complete all 3. Why are they not 30,000 blood points apiece? Why are we going back to being stingy with the blood points? Is this so that we'll appreciate the Blood Moon event more? You could do 100,000 blood points per daily quest and we would still appreciate the Blood Moon event way more, okay? But my point is that was a great idea that just got completely executed in the worst way possible. And I just don't want to see you keep doing this. I don't want to see this keep happening. 2v8 is a great idea that unfortunately is receiving terrible executions that is making the game more frustrating for everybody. That's all I had to say today. I'm really sorry for the overtly negative video, guys. I really didn't want to release a video that was this overtly negative, but when I saw the Wesker bug on Reddit, I had to get out of my bed and film this video because I just could not believe that all of these problems are attached to this mode, and the more cynical part of me just saw it as a half-assed way to distract the player base. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.